Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
All right, everybody. I'm Crispy Bacon. I think we lost. Okay. I think we lost Big B for a minute, but he'll be back here in just a minute. I'm here with Nick and Petey Brown. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. So you guys got wrestling promotion coming up for Below Zero Wrestling. Tell everybody what's going on there.
Yeah, we got Below Zero Wrestling. We got our 1-year anniversary show coming up Sunday, May 16th. Yeah, May 16th. Do I have the? Yeah, I got the date right. It's a long week already.
It's a long day.
Yeah, Sunday, May 16th. We have our 1-year anniversary show here in. Huh?
I said 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Yes, thank you. See, look at you. Got to keep me on. On track here. So yeah, 4 p.m. is the show on Sunday in Fargo, North Dakota. Really looking forward to it. We got a great card lineup for everything, and it's almost here. 4 or 5 days away. So.
Oh wow. So who's going to be the I guess headliner? Who's going to be your
the main event of this card will be Jack Ledger versus the System, and that'll be Jack Ledger's first title defense of the BZW Championship. But top to bottom, there's a lot of matches that could easily be the main event on this one. Downtown Petey Brown, part of the very first 6-man tag match. I think you even mentioned to me yesterday this is the first time you're tag teaming with NDS.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
We've definitely partied a lot together, but we've never been in a
I
full.
can hear you.
Oh,
Oh,
I guess you can't hear. So
I'm very excited to tag with those dudes.
Yeah. We got a lot of really good matches coming. We got some people, from the Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, Sioux Falls, all the way down to Omaha, and then a few people coming from all over. We got guys like Gino Riviera coming from Brooklyn. Matt Cross is coming from Cleveland. And then we got 2 people coming all the way from Australia, Shazam McKenzie and Goran Nikolov. So, we got guys from all over the place, or guys and girls from all over the place that are going to put on one heck of an event.
do you stay in North Dakota, or do you travel to like Omaha or?
All of our shows except for one has been in North Dakota. We've had one in Fergus Falls, which is close, within an hour to Fargo, and we're going to be back in Fergus Falls later this year, and we're going to be doing one in Moorhead, which is essentially Fargo as it is. It's just across the river. So,
Is there a match that's easier or more difficult to like figure out, or are they all pretty difficult to schedule? And
well, the more guys you get involved, the more difficult it is to schedule. Like this event here, we got PD is going to be tagging with NDS, and he's going to be taking on a few guys from down in Omaha. Nino Hatchett, Jameson McGregor, and Brixton Nash. And I don't know, PD, have you ever wrestled those guys or stepped in the ring with any of them?
I've been on shows with them. I've never stepped in the ring with any of them. I can tell you all those dudes are beefy dudes.
Yes.
I could probably be their skeleton. Like my whole body could fit. I could be like a Transformer, like the Megatron or whatever with like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So, and Levy's not that big. Brett's tall, but he's not like stacked. We're all in good shape, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah. It's going to be a good match. And you guys are kicking off the show, I think, too.
Hell yeah.
I just saw that. So you guys are going to
party starters.
Going to go out there and set the tone.
We're down for it.
Sorry, guys, had some technical issues with the laptop. So, Chris, I know you did a great start, but I've been waiting for this interview for a while now because got Cannon Falls Zone where I live right now. PD Brown on the show, so I know you guys started talking about it, but good luck with your 1 year anniversary show there, Nick. May 15th. So,
Yeah.
So what did I miss so far, Chris?
We talked about some of the main event or the main event and scheduling matches.
All right, and that's going to be for the title, right there, Nick?
Correct. It'll be Jack Ledger's first defense
against
the system with Mr. Sly Fox.
Yeah. So we know Mr. Sly likes to get involved there. So Nick, are you gonna be on backup there to get your hands on the Sly?
I think Jack's gonna be able to handle himself out there. I don't want to get involved too much with Sly. I might want to put my hands on him. He's talking a little crap about me from now and then.
Oh yeah.
You also don't want like a Tiger Woods ex-wife situation where he comes running at you and like causing a car accident and all that jazz.
Yeah. And then you do have PD Brown on that show. Just got on. You guys said he's going to be opening. So PD, what are you looking forward to in the match? I know you don't want to give too much of your game plan away, but what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, like I was saying to Nick and Chris, I've never tagged with NDS before. We've partied, we've clubbed many a time, and we fought together, but never in the same ring in a 6-man tag. So that'll be really cool. They're all about partying. I'm all about partying. So I think it'll be a lot of good chemistry. And we're definitely buddies in and outside the ring. And we're going against 3 huge Nebraska, Midwest, corn-fed, just brutes. They're all like probably got a bill on all of us. So like Jameson McGregor. Dude is like if Conor McGregor was ate by like a rancor. Like he's got that kind of attitude. You got Brixton Nash, who looks like the last guy you'd ever want to get a bar fight with. Hatchett looks like a more juiced up version of Randy Orton. This dude's like stacked. He's like ripped. He's got abs for days. So I mean, we're gonna be outnumbered. We're gonna be outgunned. But I mean, the party must overcome, and it will.
Yeah. No, definitely. I got my first chance to watch you wrestle, PD, was back in Randolph a couple years ago with another federation. So I enjoy watching you. My son, definitely is a big fan. I know we've talked on Messenger and stuff. So PD, we asked everybody this. Nick, we asked him last time. What is your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
I'd say number 1, and like you can totally like throw shade at me, but John Cena. He's the one who got me into wrestling. I got into wrestling a little later when I was in middle school, and he was coming up at the time. He was a doctor of thugonomics. I was a white kid from Cannon Falls, so all white kids want to either emulate like Eminem or like John Cena. So I was all into John Cena, and I was like, yeah, he really inspired me to want to be a wrestler. And obviously, I don't have the same body as John Cena, but I thought he was way cool, and he's someone I always look up to, even to this day. Also, in that same realm, Randy Orton was one of my heroes when I was growing up too, so he'd definitely be on my Mount Rushmore as well. But to throw it back, I've got to give Shawn Michaels. I called the end of Shawn Michaels' career. Put on some of my favorite matches of all time, and to close out the Mount Rushmore. Again, these are just my favorites. There's guys a lot better. Undertaker, like obviously he's legendary. I was never a goth kid, so never like really connected with him. And there's a couple of times I fell asleep during his entrance, but he's like a goat. He's like amazing.
If you woke up during his entrance, you still got to see half of it. So
exactly. Yeah, there was one time where I like no joke. We just finished a whole pizza, fell asleep with my buddy was watching. He woke me up. He's like, "Hey, match about to start." I'm like, "How long was I out?" I feel like I was out for like 20 minutes. Like, "Oh no, it's starting right now. You didn't miss anything." I was like, "Okay, cool." So Undertaker plus commercial equals a quick power.
A quick nap. There you go.
Then I would say the last person on my Mount Rushmore, probably gonna go Triple H. I mean, he's super solid too. It's tough, like The Rock too. It's that last one's I could toss it up with a bunch of people like Triple H.
Oh yeah, we definitely could, go for days on Mount Rushmores. I mean, mine's different than everybody's has got different. That's one thing we like about wrestling. So, PD, we know that you. And I've kind of asked a couple other guys this. You got in the call from WWE to help out. What's that phone call like? Who reaches out to who?
It can be like both. Usually it's through email because it's it's 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually like we reach out to whoever's like there's a booking agent who books Extra Talent.
Yeah.
Changes all the time. It used to be Pat Buck and now he's in AEW.
Okay.
So it changes all the time. But yeah, usually email in or you fill out your WWE profile or whatever recruitment profile on WWE.com and they reach out when they're in town, or you can reach out ahead of time and if they have room, they book you to do Extra Talent. So sometimes it's really fun. You could be a part of the show. Other times you're just sitting in catering, which is also not bad. You get paid to eat great food and get to see a bunch of people you see on TV. So
there you go.
Win-win.
Well, yeah, I think it was, we were going to go down memory lane, 2020 or 19 when they were here for pay-per-view in August or October, I think it was. And you got to go through a table.
Yeah, that was
Mr. Roman Reigns. So how'd that come about?
Oh, wow.
Or how they pitched that idea to you?
So yeah, that was TLC at Target Center. So I mean, if you told 12-year-old me that I got to get power bombs on stage in the Target Center, my hometown arena, like sign me up. So I mean, that was all the convincing I needed. And I mean, I was on Baron Corbin's or King Corbin's security at the time. So I mean, I had to do anything I could. You never know, if I impress Baron Corbin, maybe I'm the next like Madcap Petey. I don't know.
Yeah, Madcap Petey. There you go. Another Minnesota guy. So
yep.
So yeah, no, that was that definitely probably had to bring the 12-year-old kid out on you. I know, like I said, my son's a big fan of yours. And when he saw you on there, he's like, "That's Petey Brown." I'm like, "No, it's not." And then you got a close up of him. I'm like, "Oh my God, that is Petey." And then you go through the table. Of course, you go through Roman Reigns, who's another one of his favorite characters. So he definitely was living it up watching two of his favorite characters on TV. So
you must be easily picked out by kids because when you were on AEW, I think it was you, System, and Riley Jackson sitting there in the corner. I think I might have told Petey this before, but my daughter, who is a huge Petey fan, all of a sudden she's like, "Petey's on TV." I'm like, "No, he's not."
So I didn't even see that. I saw Petey posted that. I'm like, "Wow, he is at the AEW." So yeah, I didn't pick that one up.
Had to move it back, and sure enough, I'm like, "Man, you got better eyes than I do."
Yeah,
like honed in.
Yeah, no kidding.
I appreciate it though. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do it. It's always a fun experience, good stories, good social media content. So
yeah, no doubt. So Chris, you got anything for our guests?
Yeah, so Petey, you went through AEW and WWE. What's the differences working with both companies?
I say they're pretty similar. WWE has definitely changed. I've worked for them like definitely over 5 times. I can't give you the exact number. Under 10, around 5 to 10.
Yeah.
A lot more chill. I guess it like just depends on like what group you're in and what you're doing. In both. In WWE, it's pretty chill. Like especially once like Darren Corbin was there, it was a lot more like warming because he knew a lot of the guys. That's when 205 was happening. And was in full force. So like he knew a lot of guys, so it's just easy. And like he opened the conversation. So we all started talking. Other times I've been there, we kind of sat at our table and I kind of branched off on my own because it's just, I was like, this might be my only chance to talk to people, but it's pretty chill. Just depends on, again, like I said, like you could be Baron Corbin security or you could be in catering. So
yeah,
you never know, but AEW is very chill too. Tony Khan was walking around, just talking to everybody, very respectful, very nice, that even me on the very, very lowest totem pole. So it's very cool, a really welcoming environment. So both companies are great to work for.
Now you've crossed paths with a couple guys that have been in AEW, Top Flight, and then JDX has got a couple of stints with them. How does that affect or does that help the promotions around town here or any promotion knowing that they can come and get talent from those promotions? How does that help you guys out?
I think it helps. It doesn't hurt. I don't think it's ever like since Airwolf or Darius Martin, Dante Martin were at like AWF or at Battleground or maybe First Wrestling. It's cool because it's like, hey, these guys, you never know who you're gonna see. So I guess it gives it credence to indie wrestling, saying that you never know who you're gonna see because they might be on the big stage next year. So I guess that's cool. But I don't think there's like most people who come to a lot of these shows, unless you get the super hardcore wrestling fans, are just wanting to see wrestling maybe for the first time, or their kids involved, or things like that. So I think it doesn't hurt, but I don't think it's a big needle mover. But I think like maybe for the talent, like maybe Justin can get more opportunities since he or JDX, excuse me, get more opportunities because he's been on this bigger stage. He's proven himself. He's wrestled these really great talents, and I mean Darius and Dante are already there. So I mean the inquiries are coming already for them, where they're busy with AEW.
Now, Nick, I know you've had Eric Redbeard on. What's a booking a talent like that? I mean, how does that help you guys out?
It like when we announced it, I mean, what it does for promotion, I mean, like it definitely draws interest from a lot of like some fans that might not be so much like the indie fan because they don't know about it. We're a newer company. But then when you hear a name like that and there's someone that watches like WWE on a regular basis, it helps kind of get your name out there a little bit, just to use, to have them help you gain a little bit of credibility. And like when we booked them, when we had that first video package of him, I mean, we sold out our front row within like 5 hours, for the show that he was going to be on. And a lot of those people at that event and after the fact that, bought tickets because of Redbeard, there's a lot of them that was their first event to get to. And so it's not so much that you're using Redbeard as like an every event type of guy, but you want to get him in front of the guys that are going to be there all the time so that fans can realize that, just because, you have Redbeard, who was great, and his match with Mac was awesome, but there's so much other talent out there that, like that people can see, like Petey and, like Brandon Nitro and DeLorean Diggs and like some of these guys that have been on like almost every single one of our shows. And now we're starting to see a lot of the fans that, they're not, our tickets are the same when you don't have to have those big names, but it's really fun still having those big names on there just because of the fan purpose. And, he was great in the locker room and all that kind of stuff. So it's really fun having him, and he was really easy to work with. So
That's good.
Booking those type of guys is not that hard. At least he wasn't.
Yeah. No, I mean, my experience going to indie shows, kind of, threw me back to watching, the old AWA days where they're in gymnasiums like that and, sitting front row, getting interaction with, some of the wrestlers, coming around the ring. Even I thought it was even cool sitting front row. My wife was like, "No, we need to sit back." I'm like, "No, this is probably my only chance to sit front row at a wrestling event. I'm doing it." So, so it's always great. I enjoy definitely going to the indie shows. So Petey, what is your best match right now that you've been a part of?
That's tough. While I think of that, I want to definitely compliment Nick and Below Zero of doing things the right way, as well as that's a great strategy. So I didn't want to like undercut what Nick was saying by like, like how Dante and Darius and stuff like that with them moving on. But if they came back, that's a big thing because one thing I love that Nick brought up is that it's almost like an invitation to the more general or TV fans or people who are not aware of indie wrestling. So they see, like a star who's been there, like a Rowan, like maybe that's like, hey, I always wanted to see him or see him up close. And then, so I think that's a great thing that Below Zero does. And that same show, they brought in Madman Fulton, Ace Austin, which they're really big on Impact, and they could be on AEW in the next year and be a big fan. So it's like creating those memories and creating those emotions so they'd want to come back again. So I did that to compliment Nick, doing a very good job, but also to buy some time. I can't think of like a match that I'm like, this is the best match I've ever been in. There's definitely matches where I'm just like, it's an out of body experience and it's so fun and I'm connected with the crowd and my opponent and I are on the same page and everything's flowing. I'll just give you some of my favorite opponents. Maybe that's a little easier.
Okay.
After a long day, that's all I can think of. I'd say the system and I always bring out the best in each other. It's always supernatural in there. Darren Corbin is one of my favorite people to work. He makes everything really easy. Jordan, he's from Minnesota too. He's a really great wrestler, really great heel, just always a lot of fun to be in the ring with him. And I'd say another person who's been a good rivalry of mine is Nick Nelson too. Great guy where people love to hate him. So I think he's another great person there too. And I'd say just all members of the program, they're so hateable. Nick Nelson, Stonehenge, and Kyle Pro, so hateable. For me being the good guy, I could literally throw an ice cream cone on the ground when a kid just got it and I would still be the better of the three. So,
yeah, I can't see PD ever going that heel route, but you never know what comes down the road. But yeah, you definitely have faced some great indie heels. I mean, Nick Nelson for sure. I kind of yelled out the Triple H wannabe on him, and then you got the System, who honestly keeps it going, keeps building that character. Might have the best swag, next to Ric Flair. When Ric Flair was in his younger days. So, definitely enjoy watching all those guys. So,
yes, sir.
Let's, Chris, you got anything else or?
Sarge was asking any indie shows in
Pacific. Yeah, so he's out in Oregon. So do you guys know any shows that they might want to be able to check out there, or any promotions out that way, out in Oregon, Seattle, Washington area?
I know NDS, Riley Jackson, and Levy Cruz wrestle out in Seattle and Oregon. So have them look up Riley Jackson, Levy Cruz, NDS. They're out there and they wrestle for some good promotions. I think Paragon Wrestling is one of the promotions out there too. Yeah. So, but look up Levy Cruz, Riley Jackson. They are from the Midwest. They are from Minnesota, but they wrestle out in Oregon and Seattle once every couple months. So,
so we got Brock here. What's up, Petey? Love watching you go against the System. It was a good show. So another Cannon Falls guy there. So, as a matter of fact, I know Brock too. He used to work with his now wife. So, so Petey's getting some love from Cannon Falls here. You wrestled here, what was it, a couple of years ago before COVID, right? You had a match that had to be memorable for you.
That was a lot of fun. I was out at Artisan Plaza. I wrestled Ryan Cruz and the System. We wrestled in a ring where you couldn't hit the ropes because if you hit the ropes, the poles were not tensioned right. So if you hit the ropes one time wrong, it could have flown out and hit the audience. So probably shouldn't have wrestled that night, but we did anyways. We had a great time, and I got to have a Rocky moment with like a bunch of people in my high school class where they did like the and then after that we got some Dudleys and went to Brewster's and partied the rest of the night.
Yeah, there you go. Couple staples here in Cannon Falls. So you guys, I mean, outside of your individual lives, I mean, you guys keep up with wrestling. So what did you guys think of WWE Backlash this past weekend? Nick, I'll start with you. What did you think of it?
I unfortunately wasn't able to watch it. It was my sister's wedding weekend. Familiar with everything. Watched the highlights and watched Raw last night. It sounded like it was a really good event. It sounded like, the Cody and Seth match was another really good one.
That was huge.
So even though I know whatever that's a match, I'll probably end up going back just to watch because it did have a lot. But no, I didn't get to watch it as much as I'd like to because I was still a little we'll say tired from the wedding.
Yeah, dang families have to ruin everything, just like work. So Petey, what did you think of Backlash? I know you don't miss too many of them.
Yeah, just like Nick, I didn't watch the full thing. I watched highlights.
Okay.
Nick, I just retweeted it because I just was scrolling on Twitter like tonight and showed the best highlights of Rollins and Cody, and just watching a 2-minute highlight video of like the best of the match. The psychology was amazing. They had great back and forth, great storytelling. Everything made sense and had great payoffs. So that was really fun. I think it was cool that Rhea Ripley joined Judgment Day. Dumb name. I think I could have thought of a better name. Edge has a new haircut now. So I guess that's news too. But yeah, I don't think it was a huge pay-per-view, and I'm not a big fan of Ronda, but of course she was going to win. There's no way Ronda was going to say it. I mean, how can Cody and Seth go wrong? I mean, WrestleMania was a little sloppy, but it was the first time they were working each other. So now they had time to build up that chemistry and definitely paid off.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we talked about it on Sunday on our other show. That opening with Cody and Seth was probably the best way to open up the show. I know they had other matches, Matt Cap versus Corbin, Omos versus Lashley that could have opened, but, they drew the fans in there. I thought it was great action-packed matches. I mean, we kind of figured who was going to win each match, so the outcomes didn't surprise me too much. But
yeah.
So, Petey, you're an active wrestler. And what do you think of the state of wrestling right now? The way WWE is doing it, AEW is doing it, Impact's doing it. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's good. Definitely want to hear Nick's opinion on this too. But I mean, competition's always good. So there seems like there's, because of AEW, because Ring of Honor's back and under AEW and has AEW's financial backing, and Impact's doing really well. Since WWE released everybody 2 years ago, they used a lot of those guys. So I think that's great too. WWE is making more money than it's ever made. AEW is giving people a chance who wouldn't get chances on WWE, who are still big stars.
Yep.
And I think it's helped out the indies a lot too, because there's a lot more opportunities to make it, and I think there's a lot more wrestling fans, so more people are attending shows. So I think it's really good.
How about you, Nick?
Yeah, I really enjoy where wrestling's at right now, especially in the last year and a half that you've become like more involved with it. Like what it's done for the indies, I feel like the indies are probably as strong in some areas as they've ever been, with shows and promotions and having really good talent. Not even that they necessarily have to be on like a major promotion that's on TV all the time, but I think it drives some of those guys that are the road warriors, that are driving to every show, multiple shows a weekend, to try to get to these, companies that I think are doing it really well. I mean, a lot of people harp on the WWE, but I think, how they're trying to do things is working for them. I know that, some fans are saying it's, you're either an AEW guy or you're a WWE guy. Like you're not allowed to be both. And, I think they're doing really good stuff, and I've started watching a lot more Impact over the last year or two, or 2 years, and I think that's an underrated company. I think they have an immense amount of talent there, and I think that they're really starting to find their grounds and their footing. So it's really fun being a fan, and it's really a great time for wrestling right now.
Yeah, that actually drives the point where if you guys didn't see the tweet from Samoa Joe, talking about how wrestling fans just need to stop the bickering and enjoy wrestling instead of picking sides. I mean, I grew up WWE, WWF, the WCW in the mix there. It's hard to choose sides because they both got the pros and cons. I mean, it was kind of, watching AEW was kind of a little hard. Impact's been kind of hard, but, now they're getting into the ball game, So to me, I enjoy watching all wrestling. I can't really watch New Japan, unless I get some subtitles in there. But the action's always the same. So, but Chris, can you throw up the last comment there from Jay? He's got a little word for Mr. Petey Brown there. I know he's a Packer fan, so. But yeah. Our guy Adam, who's normally the host of the show, he's a Packer fan too, so he probably has some choice words for Jay there. But so, Petey, outside of May 15th coming up, where else can we catch you at?
On May 14th, I'll be in Zimmerman, Minnesota with AWF. First ever. I know AWF used to have tag team titles, but who knows where they are. So the new tag team title tournament, NDS is there. Slasher Scene is there. The program will be there. And so are Northern Force. I'll be wrestling Kit Sackett, who's been on AEW Dark a handful of times. And I think it'll be a really fun match. Again, I will be at Below Zero's 1-year anniversary with NDS going against Nino Hatchet, Brixton Nash, and Jameson McGregor. So that should be a burner along with the show, just being an amazing show. And then the next weekend on Sunday, I'll be down in St. Charles, Minnesota with AWF at their high school.
Okay, yeah. AWF, they started up in that area too, Elk River, Zimmerman area, didn't they? Or
yep, that's where the owner. Yep, that's where the owner's out of. Tony Danucci, he's out of Elk River. Yep. So Zimmerman's like Randolph to Cannon Falls. It's pretty darn close.
Yeah, no, yeah. So Nick, what's your plans after May 15th, your 1-year anniversary show?
So after that, our next show is June 18th. We go back to Dia del Taco Festival here in Fargo, putting together a small little tournament to crown the 2nd annual Dia del Taco champion. And then we're working on a few more things. Going to be announcing probably at least one more show, at least one show at WrestleVersary here. But we got a handful of events still that we're working on / finalizing for the rest of the year. It's going to be a really fun year for us, and we're really excited. We got a few big things planned, and maybe a surprise here or there at some shows down the road.
Okay. All right. Well, we were talking a little bit before you got on, PD, about travel time. I know you wrestled a couple shows in 2 different cities. What's the furthest you've traveled to, go wrestle?
I can't remember which city. Might have been Calgary.
Oh, okay.
It was somewhere in Canada. So when I did a Canadian tour with CWE, it's probably the farthest that I went. Okay. But I've been to like Michigan. Still trying to check off Illinois. I've been like in Northern Illinois, but never like Chicago. And a lot of my family's there. So that's definitely a goal of mine. But definitely down to travel. I mean, starting a new job. So I have to dial back a little bit. But always traveling. So.
Okay. So, I showed off my little PD action figure here that was made by another viewer of ours, Jared. PD, what was your impression of that action figure that you got from him? I know he gifted you one, so what's that like, having your own action figure?
It's pretty cool. It doesn't suck. Dren does awesome work, and it's super nice that you did that. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And to say again, another thing, it's like, like if you're, as a 12-year-old, it's like, hey, someone's gonna make an action figure out of you. Granted, Hasbro didn't do it, but that someone took their time and did it is really, really cool. And it sits on my dresser. I've got like me, and I've got a Star Wars villain next to me. So if I ever want to like unleash my inner kid, I can like smash them against each other.
May the force. Yep. So Chris, you got any questions for both of our guests here?
What's the one match you're looking forward to? Just for your win your show.
Oh man, I mean, I can say all of them. I think that one match that people are going to be like, the word surprise isn't the right thing because they're both amazing competitors, and from top to bottom, we have a really good show. But I think one match that some people might not be as in tune with is Matt Cross versus Kyle Pro. Like those two are going to like crush it. Like I just know that match is going to be insane, and it falls perfectly on how we got the card set up. And so like start to finish, our fans are going to see everything. But Matt Cross, Kyle Pro, I've just been a huge fan of Matt Cross, and then getting Kyle Pro back here, that's going to be, sorry, PD, but that's probably the one I'm looking most for.
I don't blame you.
I know that you're probably on the same page with that match. So
yeah, I'm glad you gave Kyle the opportunity to do that, because when Kyle gets an opportunity, he definitely rises to the occasion.
Yes.
Oh, it sounds like you guys are going to have a nice, stellar crowd. Nick, do we got any numbers on what the fan base is going to look like? Or are we close to selling out? Or
gonna be another solid show. We're seat-wise, like actual seats. Yes, we're very close to selling out again. There's always a lot of standing room at that event or that venue. I mean, you can technically pack in, like they told me, like 1,000 people for standing. So, I mean, but that would be shoulder to shoulder, and maybe one day we'll get there. But as of right now, all the VIP tables and pretty much every seat will be filled. We're down, I think, less than like 30 seats available, and day of you always sell a bunch, and so yeah, it's going to be another packed house. That venue is great. It's loud. It's got a little old school feel to me, and we can't wait. It's going to be loud. We're going to party.
I definitely, like I said, the indie show's always intimate and got that, old school feel to me. So PD, I know, maybe you can't say much, but I know WWE's coming to town here shortly. I don't know if you have plans to try to get in contact with them, but would you step in the ring with Veer?
Oh yeah, I would definitely do that. I usually said I'm never going to turn heel, right? But in that situation, that dude's trying to kill me, and I'm on national TV. Like straight up, I'm going for the low blow. So I mean, if you're in a bar fight and the guy's twice your size, there's no, in my opinion, maybe there is shame, but there's no shame in just going for the low blow. Yeah. That's a great equalizer. So maybe I just gave Veer my strategy. So if it happens,
I don't know. Veer's twice your size. It might be 3 times your size. Because I know you're not a big guy there, PD. But
yeah, Veer's a big dude. So it is. So SmackDown will be in town. So maybe he'll be there, but I'm not sure. So
that's right. It is SmackDown. It's not Raw. That's coming to town. That's right.
But again, I get my rematch with Roman Reigns. Maybe you'll find.
There you go. There you go. Call him out. Go take those titles from him. You know, that would definitely be a dream match there. So
I gotta get my team. He's got the bloodline. Maybe I could do the brown line. That kind of sounds like something in your underwear. So I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you probably got some fans here in Cannon Falls that might step up and get you back. You know.
We'll do like a whole like end game moment where it's like the bloodline will be in the ring, and then you get Brandon. You can lead a bunch of people and say on your left, and all Cannon Falls can come in.
We'll do a lumberjack match with all Cannon Falls guys around the ring.
That works for me.
Yeah, there you go, Peter. You book it, we'll be there.
Bring your flannel.
Come out of the ring.
A new version of Retribution or something. So, but
the Bomber Boys.
There you go, Bomber Boys. Yeah, there you go.
The Bombers are the mascot.
Yep. The Bombers are the mascots of Cannon Falls here. So, but with that being said, guys, typically we try to go an hour, but like I said, it's just me and Chris. Normally we have 3-4 other guys. Actually, I do want to bring up one thing because I know one of our hosts is actually not a big fan of a guy, PD. I think he wrestled a few months ago or maybe late last year. Disco Inferno. What was that like?
So I know he's been getting a lot of heat online. Contrary to my belief, nice guy. Was a fun match. I started wrestling him, and then we had 2 bad guys come in, attack us, and we tagged. And we ended the match by doing a disco dance. The one funny inside scoop story, we were wrestling at a casino. We were sitting at the bar after the match. It was me in this seat, Disco in that seat, and Eric Cannon in this seat. And Cannon and Disco had, I would say heated, like they weren't angry at each other, but they had a very energetic conversation about Darby Allin, because it was like when Darby Allin was popping up off the scene on AEW doing like the coffin drop, doing all the crazy coffin drops. So I mean, Disco's been on the same boat or same like kind of wavelength or like ideas for years now. So, but he was a very nice guy. That's
cool. Yeah. That's cool. So, all right, guys. So Nick, why don't you go ahead and we'll cut it here, and why don't you go ahead and plug your show one more time? Where it's at, how we can get with you?
Yeah, this Sunday, Fargo, North Dakota, Below Zero Wrestling Wrestleversary. It's our 1-year anniversary show. It's gonna be at 4:00. Doors open about 3:15. We have a really stacked card, top to bottom, 7 great matches. Downtown Petey Brown is gonna be there in our first ever 6-man tag match. We have 2 title matches. Our first female versus female match as well. I mean, really, you're not going to find a bad match on this event, and we're really looking forward to it. So yeah, Sunday, 4:00, Sanctuary Event Center here in Fargo. If you can make it, see you there.
All right. And then PD, where can we get some PD merch? If you got a website or anything we can get in contact with. I know you got a Pokemon card coming out.
I do. I just came out with Pokemon cards. The new promotion I'm doing. Before I get into that, Below Zero, it's their 1-year anniversary. It's crazy they've only been going for 1 year because of how well they're doing things. Really professional setup. It's great. It's not shindy at all. And you'll have a great time. And the venue, just like Nick said, it's great. They have entrance videos, great sound, great lighting. Everything's just done to a stellar level, especially with only 1 year. So Nick, you and Zach, congratulations. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. I'm not trying to kiss ass, but you guys really do. And I try to talk you guys up whenever I can. So please, if you ever wanted to make a trip for a really fun indie show, this is the one to go to. It's on a Sunday. It's an afternoon show, kid friendly. Will be a lot of fun for kids to teens, adults. So not to put myself over. I have this new thing because Pro Wrestling Tees, you only get like $7 a t-shirt, so you can order it. I appreciate if you order off Wrestling Tees because I get $7. But if you want to go directly to me, you can get it at any show. But if you're not at a show, I've got these things called a PD Party Pack, $60, which includes shipping. You get a t-shirt in your size, signed 8x10, signed Pokemon card, pins, my light up glasses. You get the whole part. You're ready for a PD party. So $60. Reach out to me if you're interested, and I'll ship it right to your doorstep. So I'll bring the party to you. All
right, Chris, you got to bring up Sarge's comment there because I think Petey's going to get a kick out of it. There you go. Sarge is another one of our hosts. He wants a PD card. He's got to collect them all. So
You gotta keep it going. Yeah, Sarge, reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to get you some.
So, all right. Well, guys, I was, Nick, thank you for coming. PD, it's been an honor to definitely chit chat with you about some wrestling. Hope to see you around town. For that being said, guys, check us out next Tuesday. Hopefully, we have the full crew back together and talk some more wrestling. Again, check if you're in Fargo or want to travel, definitely go check out Below Zero Wrestling and check out all your indie shows. Support them all, no matter you like the guys or don't. Just go out there and watch some wrestling. So with that being said, this is Big B, Crispy Bacon, Nick, and PD Brown signing off. Check us out next week on Tuesday Night Mania. Have a good one.
Thank you.